ASMR Coffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Coffin Radio. I am Heartthrob Rob, and today we are talking about Young Rock, Season 1, Episode 9, A Lady Named Star Search. It's been a minute since I covered one of the Rock's episodes of Young Rock, but I really like this show, man. For a sitcom, the things they got going on, and anything wrestling, I'm a total mark for it. So, this one, I'll read a quick synopsis. It's Hawaii, 1982. As you know, we have three storylines always going at once. It depends on which episode it is. We'll cover either Rock when he's 8 or 9, 16, and 18 or 19, I believe. So this one is the youngest Rock when he's like 8 years old. Hawaii, 1982. While Ata prepares for her Star Search audition, Rocky takes an unorthodox approach to helping Dewey deal with some bullies, Dewey being The Rock. Leah's conflict with rival wrestling promoter Greg Yao has her on edge. So as we see here, Ata, which is The Rock's mom, is going to be on Star Search. She's tried and auditioned, and now she's got like the real thing going where she can now finally go on Star Search, and the episode is her really preparing to go for that journey. But just kind of on her mind is, could she leave Dewey, young Rock here? Could she leave him alone? She was saying how her father was a wrestler and on the road, but being with her mother is what really took care of her and really helped her feel like anywhere she was at home. So in the end, Ata really decides that she's going to stay with Rock. She's going to stay with Dewey and keep the family together. And she tells the family, they called and while I was at the airport, but they didn't really need me anymore after all. Meanwhile, while this is going on, we have Rock wants to get a boogie board really, really, really bad. So the family gets him a boogie board, and while they're at the beach, he gets attacked, or, he gets accosted by these young little bastard children. I forget the little bad kid's name or whatever, but he doesn't like The Rock, and, The Rock is like, okay, well, I'll fight you for it, kind of thing, The guy pulls out a knife, or, he calls his, does one of those, whistles, calls his whole little crew over, and a bunch of 12, 14, 15-year-old, 10-year-olds come out, and Rock's like 8, so when little 12-year-old, 15-year-olds are trying to kick your butt, it's like, it's really a thing. I mean, these kids are probably like 12, 13, the oldest one, but still, a 13 and an 8-year-old are fucking two totally different fights, you know what I mean? So, it's, as The Rock is going through that trial and tribulation, first his dad tells him to stand up to him, he catches an ass whipping that time with all the kids, and then the second time, while mom is at Star Search, when she comes back, Rocky Johnson goes out there and he fucking pulls a knife on these kids and tells them, you think you're bad 8-on-1? He's like, how bad are you when I have a knife? Young Rock gets the boogie board, and that's the end of that. But Rocky Johnson, he's like, hey man, don't worry, I'll always be here for you. He goes, oh thanks dad. Do you want to go boogie boarding? No son, I'm going to get my hair wet. It's just funny, just the dynamics between. I think Young Rock is incredible. Sorry, I forgot to say, Ata, Rock's mom, who is played by Stacey Leilani, I believe. Stacey, you are incredible. You are the best actress. I love everyone on the show, but every scene that you are in, you steal the show. You are incredible. Just you bring it there. The authenticity is so real. It's just amazing the way you really get that motherly feel, even though you're still quite young. You've got that motherly connection. It really works. Incredible acting here on the Young Rock. Meanwhile, the Stacey, aka Stacey's character, Ata, Rock's mom, her mother is still, dealing with Greg Yao, who's running this rival promotion, and she's got beef with him, and she's kind of getting a little bit of a mafia-esque with him, and knocking over things in front of his house, and leaving fruit scattered all over his car. And you know how she is with sending fruit as messages. So finally, she gets to sit down with Yao. They do a sit down, and she tells him, I want $5,000 fee every time you run. You got to use my wrestlers, my ring, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I can't fucking do that. And she just, lays it down, this is my way or the highway, And as he leaves, she lets him leave and that's it. And, she kind of thinks that's the end of it. Little do we know that Yao is actually working with some sort of law enforcement group, and he was wired the whole time he was talking to Ata, that he was talking to the grandmother, whose name was the grandmother, what I'm talking about, The Rock's grandmother, who runs the promotion. Her name is Leah, and she, she's obviously being investigated now. They think it might be extortion, so things are going not too great with that. But that's the whole thing for this episode, man. Very good episode here. I really liked it. I actually read about this in The Rock's book. I believe it actually happened when he was a little bit older. But I do remember his father telling him the knife and walking up to all these kids, you think you're fucking bad and all this shit. So it was very cool to see it from another angle here. But I really like this episode, man. What did you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. We'll talk about it. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you like what you're watching, then hop in the coffin. Follow us on social media at Coffin Radio. Coffin is spelled with a K. And that's all for today. I'm back at it.
ASMR Coffin Radio.